So in section 4, we're going to talk about changing health habits. Whenever we're going to change a habit, there should be a specific intervention for doing that. And those interventions, they have to be based on a specific guideline as well. Like we cannot actually wake up someday and just actually try to create some sort of intervention based on nothing. We have to follow a specific theory. We have to just read more about that sort of intervention to just see if that one gonna work for us or not. Another point is just setting. You have to always consider like individual differences as well. It is okay to apply like one broad intervention, but you cannot apply that intervention on everybody. There might be someone who would not be okay with that intervention. So just asking the person about their preferences or just being more familiar with a specific population can help you a lot to help them to just change their health habits and pick up some good ones. Attitude is just very important. We all know that, right? Because if you would be negative about changing a bad behavior, it's just very hard to change that, right? I do have a friend, like I guess I already mentioned that I go running every day. So I do have a friend, she always just telling me, oh, you're just so good. You are going running like every day, so cool. So she tried to just pick up that like running as a habit. But since she's just very negative about that, like every time she's like, oh, it's just very hard. I have to just run. My pace is not good. Like she's just looking at her pace all the time. She's looking at the lengths of running, like the lengths of she's running every day. I would say in the beginning you shouldn't do that at all. Just if you can just get up and just go to the street and walk, you're good. You have to start from somewhere. And I'm just saying that like all the time to her, but I mean she's not listening. She's just so negative, so competitive about that, which you shouldn't be like that. So your attitude toward changing and like pick up a good behavior is just necessary. Another point is educating yourself. First of all, you have to know yourself. I mean, you know yourself better than anyone else out there, right? So if you would know yourself, if you would know your own strengths and maybe weaknesses, you can just address like different habits in a good way, right? If you have like some sort of smoking habits and you want to stop that, if you would just know about your own like preferences, you can just do it better. Probably you would know that you always smoke if you're stressed. So what can actually trigger that sort of a stressful situation that can cause you to just smoke more? So if you would just know the circle, you can just stop it from somewhere, right? Another point here is fear. Um, there are some people out there, they are just very scared about uh like developing some sort of disorders, if that makes sense. For example, if someone would have a family member with cancer, they would be extra like a close one, like God forbid, a mom or a dad. They would be extra cautious about their own diet, I don't know, their own physical activities, um, or their environment, just to stop that circle from somewhere. So this fear is good because you actually fear of that, you are actually afraid of that kind of threat. So you are doing your best to just stop that from somewhere, right? However, it can be kind of confusing because like there is like another sort of fear. You're gonna stop doing the checkup like about your physical health every year because you are afraid of a bad news. Um, for example, if you would have like a bad experience with a dentist, for example, you wanted to get a filling and the dentist did a bad job, you would stop going to dentist even for every 6 months checkup. Why? Because you feel like, okay, even though I would just find a cavity and I would address that, the dentist gonna do like a very bad job. I mean, I was trying to just find a polite word, which is very hard. Yeah, some dentists, they are not good. But yeah, long story short, you would just stop going to dentist because you are afraid of getting any bad news about your cavity or maybe a root canal. So that kind of fear might be bad. But in general, it seems like just just being afraid of developing some disorders can help people to just pick up some good habits and just be more positive about starting some sort of healthy behavior. Message framing, it is very important. Actually, your book did a good job explaining this part. The way you're gonna actually frame your message, if you are just asking older women to take calcium pills, you have to put it in a positive way to just be more effective. But depending on the population, some population they would just prefer some sort of negative text messages or reminder. I'm going to give you an example. For example, some people they prefer to just get a message like taking calcium every day can just help you to have a stronger bone. Yes, they're going to go and just buy that sort of calcium pills. Yet there are just some people they would prefer to just get a message. Actually, this message gonna increase the chance of them getting calcium pills. The message gonna be, oh, if you wouldn't get a calcium pill, you would lose your bones soon because you are like 65 or something like that. So like depends on the population. We have to just be extra cautious about framing our message. So I guess you got that, right? But your book did a good job about this part. Health belief model, it is also important. It is like basically again talking about health threat and the possibility of reducing that sort of threat around yourself. Yet, this actually bring the possibility of lower self-efficacy because you feel like this is not related to your own control. Like this is like outside, this is not internal and about yourself. You cannot control anything. So you have to just do extra to increase the possibility of picking up a good habit. I'm going to give you an example. In general, health belief model is just saying that you got to know yourself better than anyone else out there, and you're going to pick up a good habit that could address a specific situation that you have. Okay, like smoking and stress as a trigger. However, self-efficacy problem is, for example, you know that they're going to be always a stressful situation. I cannot avoid that. What should I do? So you are not feeling good about this because that situation is out of your control. So this is like one criticism about health belief model. But I would say in general, health belief model is okay. I wouldn't say it is like the best model out there, but at least you have to know yourself to just address like different problems about that. And no one but yourself can help you. You see what I'm saying? Yes, a physician can tell you you do have a problem, for example, in your stomach, or you're developing, I don't know, some sort of disorders. But this is you who should just take the initiative to address that. So there is, I mean, here is about theory of planned behavior. There are like different criteria for planned behavior. Again, first of all, gonna be attitudes, like our own attitudes toward a specific problem. Second, gonna be subjective norms. And the last one gonna be perceived behavioral control. I'm gonna give you an example. You can just see it here. Um, for example, you feel like you might actually, uh, you feel like you gained some extra pounds, right? You wanna address that problem. First of all, gonna be your own attitude toward that specific problem. You're gonna tell yourself, if I change my diet, I will lose weight. So I'm gonna be more attractive. It's okay. Okay, it's good. You should just feel good about yourself. That's important as well. Another one gonna be just actually thinking about being healthy. It's just good. It's just more desirable for like everyone out there. So, and you're gonna look good. So you're gonna actually try to just have a good diet, good nutrition. So this part gonna be attitude toward the problem. The second one gonna be subjective norms regarding that problem. For example, your family, they are actually pushing you. They are just calling you names, I don't know, or they are actually telling you, oh, you are just looking so overweight and all that. So you actually feel like, yes, I have to take some actions to just lose that like extra pound. Another one gonna be, for example, your partner. Maybe they are actually telling you that, hey, I don't know, you look like kind of overweight. I wouldn't use the F word here. I mean fat. But yeah, probably, for example, they would just tell you something like that. If they would tell you, I would say just break up with them. Seriously, no one should tell you if, I don't know, you're overweight or anything like that. But yeah, that's gonna be subjective norms. Another one gonna be, the last one gonna be perceived behavioral control. Yourself, your internal feeling. You wanna tell yourself, I will be able to change my diet. All of them gonna result in behavioral intention, in which you're gonna actually be intending to change your diet, and you're gonna try some healthy behavior. I don't know, just monitoring your intake every day, or maybe doing some physical activity and all that. Again, there are going to be some criticism around attitude theory. You can just read about them. I would just say your book wasn't that much clear when it comes to criticism of attitude theory. Like, it didn't explain it well, because there is nothing out there, honestly. Like, all of the research about attitude theory, they are actually encouraging being positive and just take actions about your own problems, or like take actions about your own condition that can lead to some disorders. But there are just some criticism out there. They are just saying that all of these attitude thoughts, they are not that much practical. They are just some sort of theoretical beliefs that bring you some sort of motivation. They are not really practical. But just besides that, there is not, I would say, any criticism out there, because at the end of the day, it is you that needs to take the action and just start from somewhere.